Going off the cuff here a little bit. Tammy Chin,
yes.
Tammy
we
Chin.
Got an update.
We got an update about the Steve Yzerman press conference. There was a quote that caught your fancy, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have it here, but Steve Yzerman pretty much said, I'm going to make the best trade for the Detroit Red Wings and deal with the fallout later. So he's looking to upgrade this team. He's looking to make a deal. Hopefully it's a splash. I mean, anybody who's Game of Thrones fans, winter's coming. Well, Stevie's coming. You know, this sounds like he's digging in to make some moves. I mean, he also addressed goaltending and stuff like that, which we know is a constant. And what did I tell you here? Who's the harshest guy that I know, critic on a goaltender? It's Steve Yzerman, without a doubt. Of anybody I ever played with or been around, right? He has no use for him. No, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, it's not.
I could tell by the way he treated him when he was a player.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it smells, and what does that mean? Right? What does that mean? And I think that when I hear him talking like this, and then Steve Yzerman, and what do I always say? Listen when he talks. He's ready to make some moves, and he's ready to upgrade this team because he thinks this team with the younger talent that he has is starting to be further along. And to me, that's just to reiterate that it's a playoff team next year. Or then there's big questions to be asked. So don't you love to hear that?
Yes.
And if it is your Alex DeBrincat or Ray, because I know you're high on him because of the goal scorer and stuff like that, you bring him, you could bring him in. And there's a 40-goal guy, a guy that you're very familiar with from his days in Chicago. So just sit back, wait and see. Draft less than just more than 1 week away.
Yep,
week from tomorrow. Exciting time. But Stevie's out there talking. So guys. Fish are biting.
I wonder about, because look, this is the path now, D-Mac, and we've seen this with the NBA. We're seeing it live and in person with the NHL. We saw it with the Florida Panthers and Matthew Tkachuk.
It's the new way.
It's the new way that you do business. If you have somebody, you draft somebody, you develop them, you lock them up, or you trade them during their restricted free agency year.
And
one of the two.
Because you get compensation back.
You get compensation back for it, exactly. Free agency is dead, everybody. If you know what this is like? You know what free agency is like now in the NBA and the NHL? It's like the NBA draft when you're an upperclassman in college. If you're an upperclassman in college and you're in the draft, it's over for you. You know what you're on the downside.
Right?
Or you're on the downside.
See, I think free agency in the NHL now is solidifying and building those support players. You're not going to get your superstars. You have to draft them, re-sign them, or you're going to have to pay a fee like we've seen, you mentioned with Florida, for a restricted free agent. That's the new hot topic. But I think a guy I'm interested in when free agent comes is a guy who's played for Stevie before, and Alex Killorn. It's the veteran guys. How are you also going to, and that's what free agency is sort of building your foot soldiers and everything else to accommodate. But your stars, your snipers, your 40-goal guys, your top guys, yeah, it looks like you're going to have to give something to get something.
And that's the way it is. And remember, too, because...
And that's the best part. Here's the thing. When the game changes, who adjusts quick instead of being left behind, right? Steve Yzerman is going to adjust quick, and that's what, to me, and I'm interested to listen to go watch the press conference after the show of how he said, and I'll give you my breakdown tomorrow if there's anything else that I heard in there that triggered me, but I like what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and again, with DeBrincat, my thing with him, 2-time 40-goal scorer on his resume, and people will point to last year with Ottawa, got in the 30-goal discussion. I need goals. And I saw people talking about it in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. People questioning his defensive ability and stuff like that. I don't care how he is as a defender. D-Mac, you cannot win if you don't score goals. You can't.
Absolutely.
You cannot win. And you want to unlock Dylan Larkin too, or at least... Because we have this discussion. I've said this. You've said this. If Dylan Larkin's your second center, you got a Stanley Cup contending team, right? That's because obviously then you have your 1C, your dude, as the 1C. For me, as it sits now, you go into next year with Larkin as your center and DeBrincat as your first line. You are lethal on the power play because the power play got better last year. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay. Now add DeBrincat to that.
Yeah.
Where you're double shifting him power plays.
Think about it right off the top of your head. The right-hand shot on the power play on the top of the wing, the Ovechkin, the Stamkos, the Pasternak, right? All these guys that make a living, the open one time on the right side. That's the DeBrincat. That's his job too. So you need one of those, and he's, top 10 sniper in the league. That's what you need. So, and so in reading between the tea leaves, the tea leaves, the fact is that what Steve Yzerman just said is that if I don't get the guy I want, it's not because I didn't offer enough. It's because the other team chose a different deal.
Right.
Do you get? That's what he said. That I don't care about the fallout. Right. Where the fallout is that that tells me that we're turning it up. The engines are ready to roll, and we're going to start putting it in gear. And maybe a little bit sooner than some people thought.
I don't know if it was the way you said the quote, but it got me. It cut to my soul when you're like, read it again. What Yzerman said about the trade.
No, he just said that he's going to do what's the best for the Detroit Red Wings and deal with the fallout later. That's something brewing. That's old school.
Yeah.
That's what
you're announcing it.
This is the only. Here's perspective that I can give everyone out there because I was with this man, right? That's a trigger to whatever else that my body for 30 years just goes, oh, it's go time. I got chills because he doesn't talk about fallout. What he's trying to prepare us for is, you know what? You might lose somebody, right, in the fallout, somebody you thought would be here. Right, let's read even more, Neil. Right, might be some of these young guys. Might be a younger guy that you're gonna have to pay to go get this, and the fallout might not be popular. But you know what? It's #Wiser playing. It's time to play with the big boys, and he's arming up. To me, my internal clock, and again, I will break it down tomorrow once I watch this, right, to know more how I vibe this. But this is exciting.
Yes, it is.
Because we're going to war. That's what it is. I mean, he just told me to go buckle up and
that's what I got from it, D-Mac, was just you saying that.
Earlier. Because I thought we talk about this. Yes, moves will be made, but is it not till next year? And he's going, no, now's the time. Why? Because everybody else is getting ahead, and he's always going to be ahead. Right? He's always going to be ahead, or what, if not the first, one of the first to the party, or he's going to see somebody change the game, and he's going to say, is that the game that needs to be changed? And he's not going to bat a lash and go, well, let me see if 3-4 other teams do it, or if this guy does it, or if this guy. No, he knows what he wants to do, and I think that he's about to have some fun.
Okay, so let me ask you in this way, D-Mac. Should we prepare the people? Because what you're alluding to me, this is me reading the room, yes. Okay, is there might be a name that gets moved that we have possibly talked about being moved before that was a non-starter with people. I'm not saying you're calling for it or it's going to happen. I'm saying get prepared.
No. That's what I'm absolutely telling you. That's what
excuse me.
That's what fallout means. The fallout too is that, and so doesn't mean I don't think that anybody's safe, other than your captain and Sider. But as far as like Lucas Raymond or Katz, whoever else, that everybody's at play. Because what is the quote again? I'm going to do what's best for the Detroit Red Wings hockey team and deal with the fallout later.
I love that.
Where would you absolutely love to hear that come out of?
Steve Yzerman.
Okay, it came out of him.
Yeah.
Right? But like the other sports teams
all
or something like this,
I
to the
love
fact,
that.
Right?
I'll deal with the fallout later.
What does that mean? That means you're playing in the big boys.
Because it means he's going to look into the camera, and he'll tell you too. Steve Eisman will
Always
tell you
does.
this in press conferences. He's the only
Just
one that does it.
listen.
He's the only one that does it. We weren't ready to win. Under no I love it when he's like, under no circumstances was I adding at this
So
deadline.
here's the thing, too, which I forgot, and you brought it up. Simon Edvidson, who we expect to be, might be one of those guys. Everybody to get you to what's better off. It might hurt a little bit.
And
right?
remember, guys, remember again, going back to
And
what the Panthers
what do you
gave
always
up.
say? What is that? That's the price you got to pay
Yep.
to swim in the deep
It's
waters.
the cover charge to get in the club.
Cover charge to the club.
Otherwise, you're outside looking in the blacked out window,
I'm
man.
on
Like
the
that's it. When we
outside.
come back.